I'm not sure about mooware. Mooware has 33rd, so this is going to be the best showing of mooware so far in Mystery Tournament. Will mooware continue that trend with a victory, or will Jakazam finally make that top 8 appearance after making top 9, I believe, 2 years in a row?
Didn't know that. Yeah. Good historical showing. Where with
At
the
least, at least I think it was
organizing
2 years in a row.
the boost from organizing the weekly blinds, playing a lot of actionable games.
Yeah, so both of these players, very strong racers, so it could go either way. Let's take a look to see how they got to this point. So Jakazam coming off of a loss against Furret Turret, who Furret Turret punched its way into top 8 with a win in Somno Kid, which is, if I remember correctly, like a weird. It starts off as like a shoot 'em up, and then it's a platformer shoot 'em up kind of style game. Really cool style. Where mooware just coming off of a win against Arcbliss and Papengo Penga, great Genesis game, very similar to Kiko Cubicle, which mooware also played in this tournament. So, yeah, go ahead, FFA.
I was just talking to see my microphone, and it's like at the most it will go. I'm sorry.
Maybe I just need to talk quieter.
I mean,
And
then
so
they won't hear
everyone
either of us.
everyone at home can just boost up their sound. It's the only way. But yeah, Jakazam, who pretty much been in winner's bracket this whole time, just now in the back half of the bracket, while mooware took a loss relatively early, so has a lot of games under his belt. So it's going to be an interesting way. Is mooware finally tapped out of the luck and the skill, or is Jakazam going to unfortunately have that just 2 and out? We don't know, and it's going to be very exciting to watch as we get set up for this match.
It's happened to me a lot. It's always very sad when you just go far in winner's bracket and then you just drop 2 in a row. It's
It,
disappointing.
yeah, but it's also just as rough to have a nice lower bracket run, getting victory after victory after victory, and just when you're about to get there, it's taken from you at the last moment.
So you would be the expert in that particular.
Yeah, that did. Yeah, that happened to me in MT14, where I lost my second match and then made a crap ton of victories just to lose to Zex to make top 8. Ugh, the bittersweetness of it all. Building up my win rate, but at what cost? But yeah, as you said, mooware, who's been really championing the weekly blinds, doing a great job. And mooware, no slouch to weird games. So if there is a weird, obscure PS1 game that mooware still hasn't played,
That exists, considering how many weird PS1 games he even submitted and some we had to reject for being too weird. This is not a weird PS game. I can show what it is. Oh, it's not the Penga Pengo. I forgot to change the name. It's in fact Katti.
so this is Katti. I have no idea what this is. So it's going to be exciting. It looks vaguely puzzle scripty.
I get those vibes from this game as well. We had a game from the same developer earlier, and it was a very simple puzzle game. This one has a no early rounds tag, so it's probably more complicated, but it's still probably puzzle scripty.
Yeah, so Mythical 9, who is our moderator for this match, has posted in the chat some instructions. So left click is to move tiles, to move which looks like moves Mr. Furmoon. Advanced text boxes, right click. Oh, sorry. Left click is move tiles and move the character, and advanced text boxes, while right click is rotate tiles, which is not available until later. So we've got a very similar style, like not much in the ways of controls for a puzzle game here.
We have seen puzzle games with not a lot of controls that still get super complicated. That doesn't really say anything.
But yeah, guess we're just waiting until the match officially starts to see what moving tiles in Mr. Furmoon could actually be. And just looking at, we've got a cat. It looks like Jakazam is using, well, she was using her mouse to pet the cat at the beginning for good luck. And there we go. We have started. We've got plot. mooware is clicking through this text box a lot faster than Jakazam right now.
Jakazam's doing cutscene percent.
But she has picked up. We've got a cat. It's going into a void. And here we are. We have very, very Sokoban looking style. So it looks like it's just a drag the cat to the spot you want to bring it.
Now we can drag the tiles as well.
Yeah, so it looks like if a tile is discolored like that, it can move, but if it is red, it cannot be moved. And I think both mooware and Jakazam are through the tutorial into the first level. And it is just a matter of unlimited moves, it looks like, so there's no worry about running out of moves. There's no time limit. It is just your brain versus the puzzle.
Never tried, but I imagine you can't move these blocks while you're in them.
It looks like you can only really move one thing at a time, whether it be a tile or Mr. Furmoon. We're getting a quick solution here on this next puzzle. So this is beat all levels. I'm just wondering, do you know how many levels there are?
We got a glimpse of the menu for a bit, but it didn't count.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was like the full level set or if this is just World 1's level set. Yeah, I'm guessing that this is just World 1's level set. Okay, Mythical 9 in chat, who, again, is our moderator for this match. So there's 25 initial levels and then 15 more. So there's going to be 40 levels in this goal. Yeah, and it is just look like a get cat into the box. At this rate, mooware's got a small lead, but both Jakazam and mooware are pretty much solving these almost as quickly and efficiently as possible at this point.
There are only 40 levels. I expect this is going to get a lot worse.
Yeah, especially as we got in chat, part of the instructions are right-click is to rotate tiles. So I'm guessing as soon as we're able to start rotating tiles, things are going to get a lot more messy. But now we have level sync right now. This one's a little bit more confusing for our players right now. Having a 4x4 grid. Oh, and Jakazam takes the lead, solving that one a little bit faster than mooware, who is still on level circle.
First real instance of a level giving trouble to any of the players, really, because otherwise they're just going through the levels without any trouble. Jack's still just going through the levels without any trouble.
Yeah, just a little stumbling block for mooware has given Jakazam the lead. But who knows? These levels still, as you said, they're still kind of very rudimentary. Not too difficult. And it's very interesting in a puzzle game where you really only have one way to interact with what you have in front of you. Like your only tool being that you can drag shapes in a sort of slide puzzle style.
That was pretty smart from Jakazam. Saw that the blocks were going to be in the wrong order and then swapped them before that stuck. I think mooware spotted that yet.
Yeah, it looks like for Jakazam's puzzle right now, she is currently cat sitting in the piece that she needs to actually get to the box goal. Yeah, and obviously you cannot move the tile that your cat is currently occupying, as that would pretty much easily break the puzzles. But now mooware has caught up to the final puzzle, question mark.
Oh, it's a final puzzle, the race is about to end.
But there it is, Jakazam has solved the final puzzle and is now moving on to another cutscene. And there is another batch of puzzles. And mooware has solved it, so is just a cutscene behind Jakazam at this point.
Have buttons. There's some buttons open. Are closed.
So easy process there. Step on the button, step on it again to get the box back.
That parody. I got confused by that last level. It looks like Sam didn't get as confused as I did. Oh, now there are even buttons on the moving blocks.
Yeah, so now it's not just a matter of doing the order of operations with the button, but setting that order of operations yourself. It seems like you have to step on that button in order to... Oh, and there's the loop. Jakazam does pretty much have this solved. But mooware closely behind. I think mooware sees it too. Or mooware sees an alternate solution, which I think is a little bit faster than Jakazam. So catching up back at the same level parity that we have.
It's still a very close race. Like if someone gets stuck on a level, it easily decided. Go to the loop again.
Yeah, so this one looks like you need to push all buttons or leave them all unpushed. Or no, you need to have them all... Okay. And both solve this pretty much at the same time, so we are essentially tied. This is one of those levels where you see the title is called Pong. Possibly a hint at how to actually solve this level. And there it is, Jakazam with the solution. So keeping that basically half-level lead in front of mooware right now. Oh, and there is a quick solution again. So Jakazam takes a now full puzzle lead. mooware still stuck on this Pong level. So now we have everything can move on Jakazam's screen with only one button, but there's only one open spot, so this is essentially a slide puzzle that you have to solve.
It's a natural thing to do. Have a game where everything slides, make it a slide puzzle. Kind of expecting that to happen at some point.
I figured that, yeah, that's very true. But mooware is still stuck on this Pong level. But there is the solution, and Jakazam solves the slide puzzle, moving on to, I believe, the last set of levels. It turns. This is what I assume are the last set of levels.
At 25 plus 10, so I guessing after these 5 we get 10 more.
Oh, this is probably still all tutorial zone, and then we'll probably have one set that is just... Like, this is hard mode now, after this tutorial zone of every mechanic. Yeah, but now when you throw rotation into the mix... Easy solve for Jakazam there, lengthening her lead a little bit. Now mooware is onto the slide puzzle. Not terribly far behind, but it can be tricky if you are not skilled at slide puzzles, which I can confidently say I am not skilled at slide puzzles, so I would be struggling on this. Another quick solve for Jakazam. She is making short work of these rotation puzzles. 2 to go before we get to the last set of levels.
The impression I'm getting is that these rotation puzzles are giving more options instead of fewer, and since these puzzles don't usually have a unique solution, it's making them easier.
And mooware has reset the slide puzzle level. So that is definitely some time loss that Jakazam is going to be building an even bigger lead at this point.
This lighting puzzle level, Jakazam realized something that I didn't. That you can just take the goal to you instead of trying to go to the goal, because the goal also slides.
Yeah, it's just a matter of figuring out getting the button and a path to the goal without having to go over that button one more time. I feel like mooware could get this. All they need to do is just slide that button back and then just go back to where he was. And I think he sees that now.
Seems like can press the button, but doesn't see that you can just go back to the start and then take the goal.
Yeah, see, that's what I would assumed mooware would do in this situation, because mooware has the path. It had the path without touching the button, and then also had a path to touch the button. I think mooware might be thinking that he needs to push the button and get in the box in the same path. As we were staring at mooware, Jakazam solving the next puzzle, moving on to the last one in the set.
Almost there at the last puzzle. Not the way to land.
The final puzzle, part 2.
Yes.
Interesting. So Jakazam has set up a scenario where she will have to re-step on a button that she's already pressed. Oh, but I think if she just moves...
Cross vertically instead of horizontally. Very smart.
Oh, and there is the solve. It felt like she could have had that a little bit easier, but a solve is still a solve. Now we're on the, quote, final puzzle without a question mark. And mooware still... Wait, mooware had it! Mooware had it! Mooware had a path that I just think maybe just didn't see it, or maybe there's just something about this game I'm just misunderstanding. But I thought mooware had a path. But Jakazam onto this next level, the final level. A lot of buttons to be pushed. And there is mooware with the solve, but is now a far ways back. A lot of rotation levels. They weren't too tricky, or at least that's what it looked like on Jakazam's side, so mooware does have a chance to make up ground.
This final level looks very confusing. There are so many buttons. I think Jakazam will stay here at least for a bit.
Yeah, quite literally, there are a lot of moving parts here. Yeah, because it looks like at that bottom, you have to go and do a path that makes you step on at least that one on the corner twice, since there's no outlet to those two at the bottom middle. Oh, I guess you can move those. Okay, yeah, they're not red. They are that kind of bluish color, so I guess they can be moved. It does seem weird that they gave some of these blocks this kind of like metallic coating, and these other ones have this brick coating. So a little bit weird, but it's fine. Or maybe they just can't rotate?
Not sure.
Yeah, but regardless, Jakazam with the solve. Is that the, in fact, final level? No, I see another gate, so I believe there is still one more set of levels. Unless... Well, I see a cat in a box. There's a lot of cutscenes. Sleep tight. Final puzzle, final puzzle. That is a finish from Jakazam, I think. Unless there's no B-side. There's a B-side. There's a B-side. I was wrong. Faked out by the final puzzle. We had two things that said final puzzle in this game, and neither of them were the final puzzle. I don't like that. It makes me as a commentator feel like an idiot. And I don't need that. I feel like an idiot constantly. But like Celeste, we are on the B-sides. So we have one final set of levels to go. Which is going to be incorporating pretty much everything that we've learned. Yeah, so this is 15 more levels. This is the last set. Interesting thing here. I think... So we've just got a brick piece that can move, but you can't do anything with it. I'm trying to find out where exactly that belongs. It belongs in the corner. And with that, Jakazam probably has an easy solution here.
That causes you to push the button again. Oh, okay. No, we're good.
Well, there is a solve. 12 levels to go. We are moving on to the final puzzle of this set. Before the final puzzle, which is not the final puzzle, it is the final puzzle until the panel B side puzzles. Bleh.
That's Celeste's fault. Everyone wants to be Celeste now.
As soon as the B-sides get finished, we're going to have C-sides. Another solve from Jakazam. And we're making their way through these four corners. One button left to push. That is another solve for Jakazam. She is making short work of these B-side puzzles. Mooware really needs to get some of these solves very quickly in order to have a chance to get that top 8 spot. And there is the solve, moving on to the last puzzle of the side A, which is the final puzzle. Again, not the final puzzle. Another solve from Jakazam. Mooware really needs to hope that Jakazam gets stuck on one of these last 10 levels in order for him to have a chance at top 8, while Jakazam must be feeling confident getting through these puzzles one after another after another.
If we're doing this, it looks like we need a D side to stop Jakazam.
Yeah, so now we're back with another slide puzzle. We've got 2 blocks that you can't do anything with. And mooware has reset the final puzzle. Didn't like his positioning here. Because this does, as you stated, FFO earlier, like this is a game that has a lot of permutations when you start including rotation. So you might just get yourself into a state where you feel like you have potentially not really soft locked yourself, but put yourself in a position that is very hard to get yourself back into a winning state.
I don't think it's possible to soft block because all moves are reversible, but it feels sometimes it's just better to just reset.
Yeah, because there probably is an elegant solution from the beginning. And I think, yeah, there is another solve from Jakazam. She is quite literally setting her path to top 8 with this game. So another set where you have buttons, but you have these 2 block-off paths. Not exactly sure. Got one more button. Oh, and she can just drag that down. Yeah, that is a solution from Jakazam.
It looked like a very open puzzle. It wasn't very elegant, you just press the buttons and you're done.
And Moore is being very methodical with these buttons that he has on the final puzzle. Again, not the final puzzle. I have to keep emphasizing that.
A final puzzle.
A final puzzle. Not B final puzzle. Still a few buttons left to push on Moore's screen. Possibly has a solution here. I think, yep, this is going to drag that. So Moore is going to be done with a final puzzle. We'll be moving on to the B sides, but still has a lot of work to go in order to catch up to Jakazam at this point.
Get some time back from the cutscene with mashing.
Good mouse mashing. The game really does give you that pause before it says B-side unlock. I'm pretty sure the paceman does say there is a B-side, so the players aren't as surprised as we are as commentary and chat. But yeah, Jakazam has a sizable lead right now. Moore just getting to the B-side puzzles, and Jakazam is about, I don't want to say halfway quite yet, but maybe she got to the halfway point.
This level just looks very cramped.
Yeah, I don't... Putting yourself... Oh. Yeah, I don't know if this is a good spot for Jakazam right now. She needs to get her cat to that box, but there doesn't seem to be a clear path, and I am not a fan of locking that middle block for being the one you're standing on.
I'm going to have to undo one of these buttons.
And by the looks of what Jakazam is doing right now, she might have to undo more than just that one button. Oh, and mooware, unfortunately, has a button pushed, has the path set out, but is not going to have the solution here. Has to do a bit more finagling in order to get the solve on this puzzle. Oh, but I think might have it if mooware can just rotate. Oh, is hovering over the restart button. I feel like there's a solution here for mooware. I don't know if I like the reset. Jakazam, though, does reset.
I feel like mooware could have solved that if rotating the
Yeah.
exit was a possibility. Or these non-rotating blocks.
Yeah, I can't remember which ones are the rotating ones. I thought the brick ones were rotating, but they might be the more metallic looking ones are the rotating ones.
If they don't rotate, you have the issue that every block that can't get you to the exit is a button. So you need to set up like this, yeah.
There is a solve. That is 2 puzzles for mooware. While Jakazam is stuck on this current level. Is deciding not to step on that one at the bottom. Or I don't think can, based off of the... I think... Jakazam's cooking something here. Mooware is on the brick is in the way. You need to move the brick to the bottom corner somehow. And Jakazam is going to be 1 button push away from a solution here.
The problem is level is that all corners are buttons, so if you want to move up or down, you're going to press a button either way. So being in the wrong row like this, with all buttons pushed, you can't get to the exit.
And mooware looks like he's possibly going to get the solve here on this level. I say possibly. But mooware seems to be missing one tile. Needs to figure out a way to get back into that top right zone.
You know, it's doable from here. We saw Jack do it. But not easy to see. But...
Yeah, but there it is. So mooware gets the solve.
I like the loop idea, you know, because you need to change the parity of the buttons. If you don't change the parity of the buttons, you're never going to get to the exit with all of them pressed. And doing a loop like that brings you to your starting position with 3 buttons pressed. I think that worked too. Change one row pressing 2 buttons. So now we should be able to do just single button presses. Now I think we were in the wrong parity.
I think she's just adjusting. Yeah, you might be right. And looking at mooware, mooware is 1 button push away from getting the solve here. There is a solve for mooware, so mooware is slowly but surely catching up to Jakazam. Jakazam is 1 button push away again. Mooware is a few more levels behind than 1. Alright, so she is... Jakazam is basically just doing almost a full reset, but hitting a bunch of buttons at once.
I think Jakazam is basically done here. Oh, no. The last button.
Oh, you can't just... Yeah, you can't do a full loop. Now it has 1 button left. Basically just going to invert these buttons again. Back at 1 level. 1 more button needs to be pushed, but does not seem to be a very kind one to try to get into right now. We were on the other side. 3 buttons, has 1 pushed. Now has only 1 pushed. Trying to math in his head exactly what needs to be done, resets the puzzle, and Jakazam, we have a sync reset. The level's mouth side gig, I'll let you figure out what that could be. Yeah, with a level name like Mouth. Because some puzzle games do like to give hints with their puzzle titles. I'm not sure how Mouth is a hint. Like side gig I can see as possible hint, where you need to kind of put everything on one side.
Sometimes with puzzles, understanding the hint is harder than understanding the puzzle. Where has he?
See, I can see what Jakazam is trying to do here. She wants to get that. Basically, she wants those two pieces she has there flipped so she can just go into them and have that be the solution. Oh.
Promising?
Yeah, I think she's going to get the solve here. Yep, she has it rotated into the right spots, is moving on. But mooware did catch up some considerable ground.
You'll hear a sigh of relief through Jakazam's stream. Finally done with that level.
Yeah, it's one of those puzzles that like you're happy to finally get by, but in the back of your mind you're thinking, I spent a lot of time on that puzzle. There's no way I'm still in the lead. Yeah, a lot to be done here. We have another sliding puzzle, essentially slide puzzle, but this time you have two empty spaces, so you've got a little bit more wiggle room with movement.
And you can also move the exit. Always helps a lot.
Yeah, I almost wasn't sure if Jakazam was going for the perfect solution here of hitting every single spot. But I don't know with what the pieces I see here, is that even possible? Okay, so it's hit this middle button, and so now is left with these 4 angled pieces. Now back to 2. Oh, and then all she needs to do is just slide the end to her, and that is another solve. And I do believe mooware did get the solve on his, I think? Or no, this is still side gig.
Evergreen. There are relatively few moving parts in this one.
Yeah, but the fact that you can rotate these pieces is probably really nice. Yeah, you can't... Well, you can end there. Okay, and there's a solve for mooware. Moving on to mouth. So mooware is only a couple puzzles behind Jakazam right now. If mooware can solve mouth pretty quickly, we might have a race back on our hands. Jakazam one button away from getting the solve here, but seems pretty tricky. She'd have the solution if that orange button wasn't pressed.
Parity issues are really the killer in this game.
Oh, and mooware actually getting the solve on mouth really quickly.
Wow.
That is very good for mooware.
That was a huge catch up.
Oh, but I think, yep. So Jakazam, I think, has. I'm not sure why she moved that piece. Oh, because. I'm. Again, maybe I'm just misunderstanding some of the loops here.
You need to press both of the buttons that were off. That's not very easy to fix.
At one point, I thought she had both buttons unpressed and could just do the loop at. Oh, because you can't loop at the. Okay, now I see why she couldn't do that.
Yeah, this game won't allow you to do loops.
We're resetting the repeat puzzle. There is the solve. Moving on
You can do a two-part loop there, which would work. That's eventually what she did. Yeah.
So we have Puzzle Box, the next level for Jakazam, which is not to be confused with Puzzle Script, even though it looks like all puzzle scripts are in a puzzle box.
Puzzle box to me is just Sokaban.
Yeah, Moore is moving these pieces in repeat with purpose, so may have a semblance of a solution idea here. So the interesting thing here about Puzzle Box is that you really only have two spots to go. The starting spot and this straight block. And moving that there. I'm not sure. No, I think there is a solve here. So Jakazam does finish Puzzle Box. Moore still on repeat. 3 puzzles to go for Jakazam. I've just realized we're about to hit the 49-minute mark in about 30 seconds. I have completely lost track of time. I did not think it has been almost 50 minutes at this point.
The game is deceptively simple, but then it gets complicated. That's what probably expected for a late round puzzle game.
Mooware has okay, Mooware has the solution here. Just needs to move the box towards him.
Oh no. Oh, see that.
All right, heard me over commentary, so we'll need to check the VODs for that.
Reverse commentator curse.
But that is a good solve for Mooware. Still keeping that couple puzzle lead behind, but really needs to have another situation where Moore just solves a puzzle immediately that kept Jakazam on hold. Ooh, it's very close right now. Jakazam resetting this machine puzzle.
We are starting to see our first finishes in the race. Marshmaster is done, Half Beastie is done. The races weren't nervous, I guess they are now. I heard one time someone said, oh, I wasn't nervous at all because if Half Beastie isn't done, then no one is.
The classic Maurice rule from like MT 14 and 15. But yeah, this is getting to be close. Moore is still only just a few levels behind Jakazam right now. Jakazam has been keeping this puzzle lead for pretty much the majority of this race, but again, as the puzzle games go, it only takes one puzzle to get stuck on to turn the tides. So when I said the Maurice rule, it's mostly just like Maurice used to join every race when Maurice joined MT, and would usually take first in a majority of the races. So you wouldn't have to really worry about being done with a race unless Maurice has finished. So kind of like if Half Beastie is finished. Yeah, this is a very interesting level on Jakazam's side. Only having 3 pieces means that you need to be 3 pieces away from that box in order to actually get to it. But you need to make sure that that button hasn't been pressed when making your way towards the box. And the fact that you have a stopping block, a left turn block, it kind of does force like what the boxes need to be at. But getting them in those positions seems very, very tricky.
It almost feels like something that you might want to solve a bit in reverse, like, oh, what is the final position that will allow me to get to that box?
Yeah, which Jakazam is doing that right now. We're on the other side, still getting a little stuck on this. I can't remember what the actual. I think this was called Evergreen. Yeah, because the tricky thing is here is you can't end on that button space. You have to land in either that turn 1 or the dead end block. Oh, and I think this looks like a solution here. And there it is, Jakazam finishing another level. There's one level left to go. This is not called the final level, it's just called change. And if this is the final level, we can call it B final level. There is one more after change. Come
There's
on,
always
game.
more.
It better be called B final level. Yeah, I guess this is kind of the exact same puzzle as before, but just with a different setup. Ooh, but does need to hit this button again. Oh, I think Jakazam may have it here. No, because she needs to have that block that she's currently in be the one right below her. And mooware has reset on puzzle box.
Jakazam has it.
There is the solution there. We are on to B final puzzle. It's called the final mess. You just have to clean up this mess, and Jakazam will punch her ticket into top 8 for the very first time, putting mooware into the 9th place club, a club joined by many people who have yet to taste top 8. But as the title of this level indicates, this is a mess of a puzzle. You have 2 stationary blocks that you cannot move and cannot rotate. So it is just a matter of figuring out which order of operations you need to do to step on every button to get yourself to the end. But you can move the end, which is very nice. And I think you can even rotate the end puzzle piece as well.
They're basically concerned about pressing effort, but
Mooware has got himself in quite a predicament here. Okay, 3 buttons to go. We're still trying to work out how to touch all 4 of these buttons in this puzzle box. But Jakazam, very close onto this final solution here. 2 button presses to go. I think
you needed to have some block that wasn't the exit. It's just going to swap the blocks around. Assuming that's possible.
I think
Okay,
it is. Yeah, I think this is going to be a solution. This is going to be a dot done. Jakazam punching her way to top 8, literally carving the path with Katti. Congratulations. And a great showing from mooware this year. No shame to lose to essentially two players who made top 8. The other person mooware lost to was Maurice.
Maurice wrote no shame in losing to her.
But very good victory. Very close match. Just some very daunting and difficult puzzles here that tripped up tripped up both of the racers. Getting some positive messaging from the end credits. But what a game.
Worthy game for this match. Difficult puzzles.
But yeah, Moore is close. It's just a few puzzles away. Moore one button push away. So close to a solution here. And we are joined by Jakazam. Congratulations on punching your ticket to top 8.
Oh, thank you. This game was great.
Yeah, so what were your thoughts for most of the outside of it was great?
Yeah, definitely happy that I spent a lot of time playing sliding puzzles as a kid. That paid off. It was a cute game. I was getting really anxious towards the end, like as the race went on, because the first levels were fairly simple, where every little mistake I made, I was like, this is gonna be it. This is the race right here. And
Yeah,
then I
you
got
were-
into the B sides and it got a lot tougher. And I think I spent a while on B8 was the first one I spent a while on. That I was like, I'm not feeling good about this.
Yeah, I think the puzzle was called Mouth, and
Yes.
you were on that one for a while. Like, how do you feel when you're in a puzzle that kind of just like trips you up for a race when something as high stakes as top 8 is on the line?
It makes it hard to just stop and think because I was in a panic almost. Like I need to do something here. I can't stop because my opponent's gonna finish. Like Muir's gonna be done any minute now. I need a race, so I was just making moves to make moves, and I had to like stop and think.
Yeah,
Okay.
you comfortably held the lead for most of this race. It was up until that puzzle, unfortunately, is where you did lose a bunch of time, and Moore was 2 puzzles behind by the time you finished it, when you had built up quite a lead. So other things about this game. So you were introduced to a lot of the mechanics kind of slowly. Essentially, that whole A side, I would consider a tutorial.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like outside of Mouth, what puzzle did you think was the hardest one to kind of grasp?
I think it may have been I forget what the name of it was, but I think B-side 13 took me a while. Where when I finally finished it, I was like, oh, I don't know why I didn't see the solution. I finally figured out, I realized I was doing silly things. I also did my typical puzzle game thing where I make a puzzle harder than it actually is. One of the puzzles earlier on, I think I didn't realize that certain tiles were movable until I had been trying to figure out how I'd make it work for a while. I was like, wait, no, I can move these ones. What am I doing? Why am I trying to leave them into place?
Yeah, there were definitely moments I saw when you realized you could just move the exit towards you to get that easy solve.
Yeah, there were a few times where I did things like that, or forgetting that I could rotate a piece, so I'm trying to make things work a certain way. It's like, oh wait, no, I could have just rotated this the whole time, and actually, this is a lot easier than I was making it out to be. But thankfully, I realized it eventually instead of just banging my head against the wall for another 10 minutes.
But enough about the puzzle game. You are punching your ticket into top 8 for the first time. You were close last year with a top 9 finish. Do you feel like a weight's been lifted now that you kind of have that, as some people call a top 9 curse, off your shoulders?
Yay! I did it finally. Yeah, it's a good feeling. I really wanted to make top 8, and it's great to actually make it. I'm excited.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun games. Who knows what the tournament organizer, Internet Dirigible, has concocted for top 8 with the help of testers like FFAO. It'll be quite an interesting showing. I don't really have any other questions. FFAO, do you have questions?
I don't have questions.
Jakazam, do you have questions?
No. I don't. I was trying to think of something funny, but no, I'm still coming down from the race.
The high, yes. I have a question. Do you like it when a game gives you the title of the final puzzle before the final puzzle of the actual game? Because it wasn't just once, but twice.
No, it was multiple times. It's the final puzzle, but actually this is the final puzzle, but no. Yeah, that's misleading.
But yes, again, congratulations, Jakazam, on punching your ticket into top 8. We are excited to see you on March 16th on Saturday at the GDQ channel, where you will be able to watch Jakazam and her potential opponent, who we'll find out tomorrow at 10 o'clock. If I read the schedule correctly.
I think so. I remember seeing that one.
But yeah, we are here with mooware, though, for the long haul, I'm assuming. It shouldn't be too much longer. I think mooware is going to get the solution to these last few puzzles pretty quickly.
Yeah,
like
mooware looks pretty close.
So, like, this puzzle and the puzzle after it were pretty similar. Almost in exactly what it was asking you to do. Would you agree with that sentiment, Jakazam?
I should pull up the stream so I could see what's going on.
It's the one where you have 3 tiles, and and one of the tiles is like a dead end block.
Oh, okay. I know that one. That one, I think that's the one that it took me a while on because I kept doing moves. I had seen 2 finishes. So I was panicking and I need to go fast. I kept making moves, and working backwards on that one was very helpful.
Yeah, I think I saw on the stream, we saw you at one point get the solution before you even moved. Like, you put all the pieces into the spots they needed to go. Kind of almost like foreshadowing to us, the audience, like, this is what I want.
Yeah, I needed to just take the time and do that, and it's hard to do under race pressure. Like, you feel like you constantly need to be moving. If I'm not moving towards the goal, I'm not making progress, I'm falling behind. But with puzzle games like this, especially like that level, you really need to think about the moves that you're making.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with a game like this where it feels like you can get yourself, since there isn't like a step counter or things that kind of lock you out of moves. Like, you're not exactly like 100% this is guaranteed the first move to solve this puzzle. Because you can put this in almost any state with how much entropy, as some of us like to call it, this game. There's a lot of entropy in the amount of states you can put the puzzle.
Yeah, and you could easily fall into the trap of, if I keep making moves, eventually I'm going to stumble upon the solution. Because there were times where I did that, like, I'm just going to throw a few moves out here and see if I get any closer, and you might end up getting yourself really far away from the solution.
Yeah, I'm not sure if mooware has quite grasped exactly how to get the solve here.
Oh, I do like that if you try to rotate a piece and the cat is standing on the piece, the cat just does a little hop.
Oh, I didn't even notice that at all during the race.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and there's the solve for mooware.
Yeah, I think that one that mooware just finished was the one that I would say was probably the most time that I was just, what am I doing?
Yeah, and then you're thrown into Change, which is almost the exact same puzzle, but with just different pieces.
Yeah, this
At
one
least-
was definitely much easier. Whether because the pieces were different or because you had just done basically the same thing.
Yeah, mooware, I think, realizing that needs to have the pieces in the other side in order to get this solution. But I think it's a quick solution from here. The tiniest mouse wiggle.
Yeah, the big thing on this one was just realizing that you need to change. Well, it says change. You need to change that once. The switch, because it's the wrong way. You're going to keep ending up over by the box with that switch turned off. Unless you go and do a little loop first to change it.
And I think mooware has clued into that. At least I think mooware is clued into that. Because now we're back in that same... Alright, chat, give mooware your energy. We want to see when there's the reset. Give mooware your energy. We want to see this solution. Want to see this game completion. Show me your best give energy to mooware emote in the chat if you're still hanging around.
So do we know the lore of this game?
Well, I think the lore was you just blew past it at the beginning.
Yeah.
From what it looked like, a wizard made some sort of teleportation spell that caused the cat to get wound up in it. And then the cat had to solve the fabric of time to like get back to normal. At least that's what it looked like.
Sounded like whatever was in the jar that they used to destroy time tasted pretty good.
Makes sense. mooware, unfortunately, hitting the button off, getting to the box. I'm just very, very close to a solution. Just needs to figure out how to repeat this pattern.
This is good right here. This is definitely the right idea. No.
But
That was
resets.
solved. That was solved, mooware. No.
mooware is definitely into the thinking and processing stage of solving this puzzle.
Yeah, he definitely has all the ideas that he needs to solve it. Just needs to put it all together.
Does the pastebin say that this is the final level, or does it say specifically which one is the final level?
The pastebin says you're done after beating B-side 15. So.
Okay, so they're not numbered, even though this does look like the 15th puzzle.
Yeah, this is the 14th
Yeah.
one right here, right? Because then there's the final mess.
Yes, the final mess, also known as a B final puzzle. Another reset. mooware was quick with the resets, and I think while you reset a few times in the race, Jakazam, you didn't reset as much as mooware did. You were much more willing to play out an idea, even if it was wrong. But in most cases, it was right.
The restarts definitely help if you start getting you start just making moves and you have, especially the levels that have quite a few switches in them, where you just need to let's just put the puzzle back to its initial state because I don't know what I've done here. That can definitely happen. So restarts aren't always bad, but usually if you've made some progress on flipping the switches, it's probably a better state than where you started.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, at least in this game, what the elegant solution is to most of these puzzles. Alright, mooware's cooking something here. I wonder if mooware is just trying to solve without moving, and then going to move into the pieces after. I'm not sure about that reset. I am going to step away for a second. I trust the steam in both of your hands.
Oh, no. I'm hoping mooware realizes what he had done earlier, which was you kind of need to do almost a double back move to flip the parity of the switch so that you don't end up going over it and turning it off every time. Because you don't have enough pieces to get to the box from the starting point, so you do need to set up a midpoint. Unfortunately, because of that midpoint, it means you're going to be passing over that switch twice.
Alright, I'm back. Something happened while I was gone. I see Xuno and Omega Number in chat saying some things. Like no and why.
Maybe mooware was close to the solution. I don't know what this is. I can tell.
Like, I think the trick here is you want to have the button pushed. And then still be at the start. Because then you've had that loop. So you can get to the box with all the correct pieces in place.
Ah, there was the little cat hop.
Yeah, so if mooware moves that any piece right now and then just so it goes down. And then moves that. Okay, I think mooware sees it. Mooware sees it now. Or I thought mooware saw it.
Yeah, you want to be able to get to where mooware is with the cat, but with the button in the other set.
Mm-hmm.
The button has to be off when you're up there, not on. So I think the move that mooware isn't doing that needs to be done is moving off of the... getting across so that the button is depressed, so that the button is on. And then moving from the two that don't have buttons to each other. You have to move from one directly to the other without crossing over the button, so that you could switch which one is in which position.
There is a reset. Some very minimal mouse movements. I'm afraid of what I'm about to see from mooware. Mooware typically doesn't forfeit very often. Using... This looks like calculated puzzle mouse movements.
I want to see mooware finish, but I also need to leave at some point, so see if I need to trade mooware.
We're technically
This is it.
Oh,
Come on. No, if Moore moves that the end there over to the right one and goes straight down across the button, then I'll have the button in the on position. Then can move up from there and over to the left to the T. Turn it back off. Moves away from the solution again, though.
Yeah, I say we give mooware 5 more minutes, since that would be the regular cutoff time for a mystery race. Unless like they get to the final puzzle and they're really close, then we might stick it out. But if mooware is still on this puzzle...
He's gotten close a few times, I believe.
Yeah, because the thing about this level is despite it being like challenging, there aren't many ways you can put this puzzle state. There's only 6 spots. So there aren't that many permutations you can have with this puzzle piece set. It is true that they can rotate, but some of those rotations are absolute garbage in this situation. You have a dead-end piece, so the rotations of those pieces can only be in one specific orientation.
Laura seems to have a plan. It doesn't look like a good plan, but it is a plan.
All right, Moore, you got 2.5 minutes. He's hanging his mouse outside of the puzzle zone. I'm not sure it's gonna happen.
You have to forfeit 1 minute 27.
Well, that is unfortunate. Moore is unfortunately taking the loss. Is going to be taking 9th place in Mystery Tournament 18. But again, puzzle games are hard.
They are, especially if you get stuck on one puzzle, it's just
Like
it takes you down.
I know from experience. Sometimes it's just not the game. It's one specific level. That is what does you in. Because Moore is doing great for every other level. Just this one level, unfortunately. But taking 9th place is a best for mooware in this tournament. And hopefully many more high finishes for mooware in the future for MT. But Moore is still playing despite the forfeit.
Yes.
All right, with that, FFAO, I think we're good to just roll to the what's coming up next screen.
The one match that is coming up.
The one match. Yeah, so yes, we have one more match left before top 8 for Mystery Tournament 18. That is the Whitley versus Marshmaster 11. That will be in basically 25 hours from now. So come back here, just wait one more hour, and we will have another hot and ready match for you to find out the final spot for top 8 for Mystery Tournament 18. Again, congratulations to Jakazam for punching her ticket into top 8. And FFAO, thank you so much for the restream.
Thanks everyone. See you all tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
I'm waving, everybody. You can't see it, but I'm waving.